Hello, and welcome to Steph Udall. I am, unsurprisingly, Steph. This time I took part in a Cave Club collab hosted by Recreative Customs on Instagram. We each chose a doll from the Cave Club line from Mattel to customize however we wished. So let's get started. I chose Vanessa as my base, and I'll be making her into a little forest sprite. First I removed her hair, which is decent quality, so I'll save it for a future project. Then I undressed her and heated her head up with a hairdryer to help me remove the head. I scraped out the remaining hair with a screwdriver and attempted to remove it with tweezers through the neck hole, but it was just too small to get it all out, so I ended up having to cut her head open to remove the rest. But thankfully, that also helped me with the reroot later. I'll be doing a special reroot this time, with this lovely Donegal tweed yarn from Folklore Yarns here in Belfast. I think they'll make lovely locks that look as though they've got a sprinkling of tiny leaves and flowers. It was pretty difficult to figure out how to reroot this stuff, but after a lot of trial and error, I figured it out. I took a strand of yarn and rolled one end of it between my fingers, condensing the fibers. Then I threaded it through my long doll needle, but only a little, like less than a centimeter. Then I stabbed the needle through one of the existing holes and out through the cut in the back of the head. Later on, I used pliers to pull the needle through so I wouldn't hurt my wrist and hands so much. So, don't be like me, be nice to your hands. I have a repetitive strain injury and yet sometimes I still do this. Normally I would knot the yarn, but since I didn't unravel the strands and they take up a lot of space, it'd take up too much room in the head, and also I wanted to minimize pulling the yarn as much as possible because that could weaken the fibers a little bit. Technically, the tension of the vinyl should be enough to hold the yarn strand in place, but I'm paranoid, so I made sure to spread some glue inside the head once I was done with the reroot. Once that was dry, I used super glue to close the gap in her head. After reattaching her head and wrapping her hair up to protect it, it's face-up time. I gave her 2 coats of Mr. Super Clear to start, and then I lightly sketch the shape of her eyes and go from there. I never quite understood people who could completely draw one eye and then the other one, because when I do that I can never get them to look the same. I have to do it in steps, so I have to work on both at the same time, if that makes sense. I couldn't quite get the white to build up in her eyes, so I ended up using acrylic paint. After I did that, I sprayed her with 2 coats of Mr. Super Clear again, and that way I was able to sketch in her irises without scratching off the paint underneath. Also, pro tip, I was having so much trouble with the cold weather and my MSC not working so well. In fact, this was her second face up. So I ended up warming up my can of MSC by keeping it in my hoodie pocket until it was time to spray. That definitely helped a lot, because it has been cold here. I used some dotting tools to add her eye shines this time, and I like how they turned out. Then I unwrapped her hair and styled it, with a large twist on one side, and pulled back on the other, with 2 small braids and a few beads sprinkled in, including one blue one. Why? Well, I had all these warm tones, and her outfit has warm orange and green and red, and it made me think of the use of the color in the film Amelie. Amelie has very saturated, warm greens and oranges, but is often punctuated by something blue in the frame, like a lampshade or a bottle. And that really gives the scene more dimension, and it's gorgeously done. I really liked it, so I used the same idea here. I sort of winged it with this toadstool skirt, but it has a really nice poof. I used part of her original dress to make a pattern for this orange top. I finished the outfit off with a green silk ribbon. And she's done. It took me a little while to figure out what to name her, because I wanted it something sort of Earth-related, but not Gaia or Terra. So I had a quick look around, and I think I'll call her Rhea. Rhea was one of the Titans, daughter of Gaia, fitting, and Uranus, and mother of Zeus. It's kind of funny that I named her after a Titan, but she's so tiny. I wonder if I should make this into a series, making Cave Club dolls into little elemental spirits, with Rhea representing Earth. Let me know in the comments if this is something you'd like to see. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see what I'll make next, and click on the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I upload a new video. You can also find me on Instagram at StefFoodall, where we're getting very close to my 1K follower giveaway. There will be polls in my Instagram stories you can vote on to help design the doll with me, which should be a lot of fun. Also, of note, we've hit over 50 subscribers here on YouTube, and that's really exciting. And I'm super honored that... Dee Dee, how do you always know when I'm recording? I know! Thank you so much for coming and watching my videos, and hopefully you enjoy them, and I hope I can continue to entertain you and give you something nice and fun to watch, even if it's just in the background while you do other things. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And I'll catch you next time. Bye!